It's a little tight. So now I'm gonna have to actually get into the passenger side to get into the driver's side. So I did have a bottle jack. It was a 12-ton bottle jack beforehand, and then I ended up getting this.
When we pulled into our site, it's a little bit unlevel, so we used our Anderson leveling blocks to try and get us level, but I realized that I couldn't fit the leveling block between the tires. So we knew that was a sign that there's something wrong with the tire, and this has actually happened to us before. The belt separates and then it creates this bulging. And so then when you go to use either like your X chocks or in this case the Anderson levelers, they don't fit because they can't get between the tires. But to make matters worse, the jack doesn't work anymore. So instead of buying another jack, Ryan decided to go a different route. So I'll show you that.
I want to talk about changing tires and the things that can be able to help you out. So I did have a bottle jack. It was a 12-ton bottle jack beforehand, and then I ended up getting this. And the reason why I ended up getting this was not because I necessarily felt like this was better, but the bottle jack, unfortunately, did have issues. It actually started to leak. I only ended up using it probably twice, and ended up starting to leak out of the seals. I thought it was going to be something that could easily get replaced, and unfortunately it wasn't. I did get it from Harbor Freight, I believe, and it was a good bottle jack. It did everything I needed to do, but unfortunately it didn't last. So I kind of went this route because I felt like this might be a little bit better for us, with the possibilities of changing a tire, especially when you're looking at changing a tire with using dual axles. So this is the trailer aid from Camco. They do make a trailer aid regular and a trailer aid pro. The pro has this rubber stopper on it, or this rubber little piece that they add on to the top of it. And I do think that if you look at the two, this is going to be more beneficial. Spend the extra $10-15 because this will give you a little bit better lift when you drive up onto it. And I find that depending on the surface you're driving up on, things sink down a little bit more. And now obviously that could be the case too with bottle jacks, but in this aspect, it just sits a little bit more. It has a little bit extra, padding and groove for your tire, and it just raises that other tire just a little bit more so that we can be able to easily change out the one tire. This has a limited lifetime warranty. I think I got it for about $80 overall on Amazon or on Camping World too, but I've already used this multiple times and it's worked out pretty well. I probably would recommend at least having a second person while you're backing up on it so they can kind of keep an eye and make sure you don't go over the edge, because that could be obviously traumatic in itself. But it's been pretty good. They do make little grooves on there where you can kind of see the little grooves, and then also these bolts on here too. They do make that as well. That kind of helps to grip in to the surface that you're using. The only thing I would say my wife noticed is when we were using it with asphalt, it did kind of dig into it. So if you're at a campground, it's probably not the end of the world, but if you're at home needing to change a tire, you may want to think twice about having this damage your driveway. But overall, I felt like this worked pretty well. It was easy, it was fast to be able to do. The downsides of this are that you need to be able to back up onto it, so depending on where you're at, that may be a problem. The upside is it's not that heavy overall, and you can easily be able to store it in the truck or in the trailer without any problem. And there's no mechanical aspects of it, so I don't have to worry about something happening. So this will be also beneficial with lubing up the axles too. So that could be something that can help out. Again, the biggest downside is that I'm going to have to be able to hook it up to the truck and then roll it back and forth instead of just jacking up with all four. So I think there is a lot of benefits, a lot of downsides with it, and so far it's been good for us. We'll see if that becomes a problem later on. Now that we're in Austin, we're going to hang out with family and friends. First on the list of things we're going to do is some bouldering. It's a hailstorm. You can hear the hail that's coming out of here. That is loud. That's crazy. We've never gone through a hailstorm like this before.
No, the whole RV is shaking too.
Like, it's bad. It's bad. Like, if you've ever been in a hailstorm in an RV, I've never been like this. It's nuts. Over. That's the last one. It's better. Not by much. Not good. I don't even want to go outside. Like, my heart just for every single vehicle out there, for our RV, for the windows, like, they hit hard. Yeah. It's still like you can hear like hitting.
And then there was some other noise that I'm afraid to see what that was.
It might have been a transformer because our power's gone, but it might have been a transformer, but it sounded very close.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's pouring, but you can still hear the hail coming down too. Oh.
It's supposed to go until 2 a.m. with extremely high gusts of winds. So that's what we love, shaking in the RV.
No. No. We hate this. It's horrible. Oh, we got power.
Power.
Yeah, we got power back on. Well, that's at least somewhat good. I just need to stop hailing. They're destroying us.
That's one hard thing about being in an RV is that when weather's bad, it feels worse and it's a lot scarier because, you know, how much can this really hold up to? How much wind can this take?
Yeah.
We're getting up to baseball size pieces of hail. How much hail can this thing take?
4-inch size hail? You can't survive with that. So yeah, I agree. How much can you take of that? Mm-hmm. Tito says none.
None, yeah.
None.
Tito's like, I like my sunshine.
That's crazy.
And nothing else.
golf ball size hail. Oh, this man, this didn't work.
Oh,
Look at that.
there's the hail. So much as I'll take it.
Man, and that's half of it. Look at that. That's
Oh
half.
yeah, that's only half.
That's half of it. Broke when it went down. That is crazy. That's half of that, but yeah, look at how big that is. That hurts. That hurts. Literally. Glad we weren't outside. Oh my god. Alright, I'm gonna go with my pink Victoria's Secret umbrella and go check things out.
Okay.
Can I get a flashlight?
We're heading to the gym the day after the storm, and you can see the damage around town. Passing by some of these vehicles, oh, it is painful to see.
And we realized that the truck did get a couple dents in the hood, so it didn't, we got a little bit of damage too. Not as bad as some people. I mean, there's broken glass, there's windshields and back windshields broken into, and just dents everywhere. Oh, it's painful. It's painful. I can't imagine, especially some of the dealerships, some of the places that are, you know, trying to sell vehicles and now just dented up to no end. But I guess if your vehicle already had some dents in it, you just add to it and it makes it look better maybe, but they didn't have any dents in like the truck did, and it sucks.
You want to buy a car right now, maybe you go to a dealership and say, okay, take $50 off for every dent.
Ooh, yeah, that's
You'd have some major savings if that was the case.
maybe just have a dented car. But hey, if it runs just fine, who cares, right?
We're heading into downtown Austin today. We're going to meet up with family for dinner, but we have a little concern.
So the area we're going in is downtown. Any city that's downtown is always going to have parking garages. And when you have a Super Duty, when you have a heavy duty truck, it's a little bit more difficult, especially since our truck, which is a Tremor, sits up about 2 inches higher. So most parking garages are about 7 foot 7'2". Our truck is 7'4", maybe 7'5". The tires need to be replaced eventually, so maybe it's a little bit 7'3". Supposedly this parking garage is 7'8". I'm still a little nervous about it because just getting around, you know, parking garage is so tight as it is. We have a short bed truck, but it's still potentially an issue. So
Sometimes just driving around downtown, like big cities,
Yeah.
some people in Austin don't say it's a big city, but it's it's definitely growing. So depending on what you label your big city as, it's big enough, and I'm sure it's going to be a little tight. But
a little challenging. So we'll see how challenging it is. Hopefully we can show you a little preview of us being in there, depending on how rushed we are getting there or
Yeah.
leaving. To be continued. If you've ever been in a parking garage RVing, you probably know it is very difficult to ever try to get anywhere. A, you're going to get hit by a car, and B, you just can't fit anywhere. And F-250, 350, dually, whatever, you probably can't fit in most parking garages. Luckily, we found a spot. It's a little tight, so now I'm going to have to actually get into the passenger side to get into the driver's side. So it's gonna be fun, and it was fun just even getting in here as I was watching, like all the little pipes and everything else that was above you, 3-4 inches above us maybe. So let's do this. can tell too if you're going to hit, because the antenna has the chance to be able to hit something before the roof will. So if your antenna moves, don't go any further forward. Back up, because you're going to hit the top of it. So I've never been in a parking garage yet, and this is, because it sits up a little bit higher, I think it's like 7.5 and the parking garage is 7.8, so it's tight. It's tight. I feel more nervous driving now than I have in 20,000 miles of driving in an RV, white knuckling, trying to keep it on the road, driving through this parking garage. Even the parking sign, like, I think comes close to hitting this thing.
Sometimes you're so tired you can't even make it to bed.